Well, we got another one. I will say this is more of a poor man's build. Um, anyway, Runick, mine, we're being degenerate. No tip. Wish I had a tip. If you have a tip for a man, let me know. Anyway, going in, we got one fountain, sadly. So, fountains are pretty much one of your key components to the deck, being able to play quick plays from your hand on your opponent's turn, and also being able to take resources from your graveyard that have Runick in the name. Of course, you know, quick play spells, because they're like that. Put them on the bottom and then draw that many. Going into the quick plays, we got 3 golden droplet, so all the quick plays will have the second bullet of you can special summon a Runick monster into your extra monster zone. This one, honestly, is probably one of my top favorites, not only because it forces your opponent to draw and then banish the top 4, so you're already forcing them to go down 5 cards from the deck already, but it pairs up very well with Runick Dispelling. So since your opponent added a card from their deck to the hand by a card effect, other than, you know, draw phase, whatever shenanigans with this thing, you get to discard any one random card from your opponent's hand and then banish the top 2. So you're essentially hitting them for like 7 to 8 cards already, and knocking their hand size back down. Another one of my favorites that I really like is Freezing Curses. So you can just shut off any monster your opponent controls and then banish the top 3. Pretty brutal for decks that rely off of their normal summon or their special summon to extend and develop their board more. For a 1-of, because sadly I only have the 1-of, Runick Destruction. The spell trap removal in this deck is key, because we hate removal cards like Cyclone, we hate Twisters, we hate all that, and if we're able to hit that before we establish if we see this, it'll be a phenomenal game, and then we are also able to banish the top 4 upon resolution. For a 2-of, which I feel like is more of a mid-game, like, control type thing, if you're down and low, is a Smiting Storm, being able to banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the amount of cards they control. So if they have like 2 spells and traps and 3 monsters, they're banishing 5 cards. Another 2-of, which arguably I guess you can play 3-of if you really want to see it that much, is Runick Allure. So it's generic for any quick play that is activated. It doesn't matter if you play it or if your opponent plays it. This card will activate to banish the top card of your opponent's deck. For one, I'm kind of just lenient on and not sure how I feel about, is Flashing Fire. I've been feeling like Flashing Fire can get cut down to 1, but running it at 2 has somewhat been a stability for me, not only because it's a different name, but also if I already use 1 to shut it off and my opponent's not really doing anything else for special summons, it'll just give me my Runick monster and I can develop my play and go on from there. 1, Runick Slumber. So this one's a weird one. So yeah, if that tells you anything about this, I actually have to read it. So you can target any monster on the field. The next time it would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, it's not, so it has a once per turn protection, which is pretty cool. And then upon the effect resolving, you banish the top 3 of your opponent's deck. Going more into the staple lineup and Mystic Mine lineup, I guess, we have triple duality. So we're not really normal summoning, we're not really special summoning unless it's going to be on our opponent's turn or on our turn if we don't see this. But anyway, so if you don't know what this freaking card does and you're sleeping under a rock, you can take the top 3 cards of your deck, look at them, and then add 1 to your hand. Because we're being degenerate, we're playing 3 copy of mine. We run no monsters besides our extra deck. We rarely touch our extra deck. We tell our opponent to screw off and they're not playing monsters. They're not attacking, none of that. Prosperity to either banish 3 or 6 and then excavate 3 or 6, add one of the excavated cards to hand and then place the rest on the bottom in any order. Amazing card, great way to dig, and honestly, again, poor man budget, so when we go to the extra deck part, that's going to be really quick to the point. I say poor man budget, I'm over here with Prosperity and Droplet, but anyway, so Droplet, again, if you've been sleeping under a rock and don't pay attention to the meta, you can send any card from your hand or field, being a monster, spell, or trap. It can be however many you want, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Yeah, it's just any other cards. So if you send a monster, your opponent can't play a monster. If you send a spell, you can't play a spell. If you send a trap, yeah, you get it.
You just can't react to it.
Yeah, it kind of just tells your opponent to screw off. 2 field barrier, arguably you can play 3. I'm playing 2 because I just see field barrier too much as a 2 of in my hand when I usually open up. That's why I chose to cut down the ratio. But anyway, so we're out to protect our mind. We're out to make sure people that play field cards like Funderies and all that can't play their field cards. So if we set up Mind Field Barrier turn 1 before Funderies get to play, for example, then, you know, Mind's going to stick because Field Barrier is protecting it. Again, a 1 of, I would definitely play 3 if I had 3. But during the standby phase, you can put a counter on it. Even upon activation, it will get a counter, and then you get to choose one of the effects. You can either heal yourself for 500 per counter on it, so if you got 3, you can heal yourself for 15. Or you can burn your opponent for 300, so if you have 5, you can burn them for 15. We hate taking damage, especially if we don't see Mine, Field Barrier, none of that. We just hate taking damage. We want to make sure that we see Mine or Fountain, doesn't matter, whichever, you know, we just give it a little flex here and there. Again, we want to see Mine. We want to see Mystic Mine. We want to tell our opponents no and hopefully shut off spells and traps. Tell our opponent no because Solemn's good. And tell our opponents trap cards no because trap cards are starting to have a peak in relevancy now. That's it for the main, going on to the extra. So again, really quick, really simple. We got Huggin. Huggin, you discard a card, add a Runick field spell. So, Fangs. Whenever you summon Fangs, you can take any Runick card that is not a quick play. Well, correction. Any Runick spell card that is not a quick play in your graveyard, add it to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle, it doesn't matter if you have a touch grave or banishment, unless somehow you have Called by the Grave. You can target any one card on the field, destroy it. Great spot remover. And also, Huggin will recycle itself too. So even if you do come across one, I really feel like you only do just need the one. Minu. Oh wait, no, I'm reading that backwards. It's Moonin. There we go. So this person right here is what allows you to touch your Runick Alert, being able to discard a card. And that's why I also decided to cut my ratio to 2. While he is face up in the extra monster zone and your opponent decides that, well, face up on the field, correction, and your opponent decides that they want to target like a Runick card or one of your face down back rows with like card effects, you contribute it off Moonin, negate, destroy, and then gain 1,000 life. And then, yeah, extra deck does not matter because of Prosperity. But anyway, so that's the profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below what you think. And as usual, we'll catch you in the next one.